Hello and welcome everyone to episode 5 of the Split Screen Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Garcia. For those of you who are new, just want to say thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. And if you don't know what the Split Screen Podcast, it is this. It's just a little bit of time out of your day to think and talk about anything video game related. And I'll give you the topics here momentarily. But if you want to follow us on our social media pages and leave more suggestions and your thoughts about what we talk about, we are on Facebook, Split Screen Podcast, and we are on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those are at Split Screen KC. Go ahead, give us a follow and say hello or suggest topics that you want to hear us talk about in the future. Today's topics, let's get right into it. Today's topics are, these are interesting ones, at least to me. I say that every episode, but I like to think that these ones are extra special. So we're going to talk about scary moments. Well, I'm going to talk about scary moments in video games growing up as kids. And what I mean by that is games or moments in games that may not necessarily be scary now, but they sure scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. So we'll be talking about a few of those. This episode might be a little bit shorter. I'm flying solo again, by the way, so I hope that's okay with you all. And then another topic that was brought up by my brother and suggested by my older brother, Mark, shout out to him, is growing up as player 2, which is basically you're the younger or youngest sibling, and if you were playing with one of them, you were always player 2 and got second choice for basically everything. So we'll be discussing that as well. But like I said, follow us on our social media pages, leave suggestions, leave comments, do what you do, say hello. We'd like to say hello, you know. We'd like to talk to you guys, especially lately. It's been really, really rainy here in the KC area, so we need as much love as we can get. So let's get into our first topic. This is scary moments in video games when we were kids. And I can think of one straight off the bat when I was younger. And my brother loved to show me this part when I was younger. I remember I would go screaming out of the room. I would cry, I would scream, I would throw fits about it. And it scared the heck out of me. Even when I played this game by myself for the first time, I was really uncomfortable when I knew that it was coming up. And that is when you first meet Andross from Star Fox 64. The Star Fox on the Super Nintendo never creeped me out. It was just the 64 version. The way he would lunge toward the screen, and this is both versions of him, whether it's the real ending or the fake ending. What is it? How do you pronounce that word? Non-canonical? However you pronounce it. The way he would lunge toward the screen made me think that he was actually going to come out of the screen and bite my face off or something like that. And not only that, but in his robot form, he would do this like weird motion where he would like bounce around like erratically and crazy and frenetically, and it would just make me feel uncomfortable. And it just scared me. As soon as I saw that, I would run out of the room, and my brother would probably laugh his ass off. I'm not entirely sure. I remember he would call me into the room, and he would try. I think what he was trying to do is have me get over my fears by like making me confront them, when really all that did was make me almost piss myself. So I appreciate what he was doing, but it scared the hell out of me, man. And just the way he would laugh when you first come face to face with him. Not only that, but you would see his like silhouette before he lunged forward, and you would see his face and the way he looked, and he would be laughing, and his laugh was just really unsettling, and it still is to this day. And this is the same laugh where if you got the non-canonical ending, and you would see the ship flying off, the Great Fox flying off into the sunset, all happy ending and all that, and then you would see his face slowly fade into the screen, and he would do that same laugh. It scared the heck out of me, man, and it just wasn't cool for me when I was little. And as I got older, that became my favorite game. And whenever I got to the real ending, another unsettling thing revealed itself to me, I guess, for lack of a better word. And that's his real form, his true form, which is once you basically blow his face off, it's just a floating brain with 2 eyeballs that would then separate themselves from the brain and like fly towards you and basically chase you, and you would have to destroy the eyeballs before you could attack the brain, and the brain would teleport too. It's just a really weird boss fight. Is it iconic? Yeah, sure. Is it weird? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Not now, but as a kid, it scared the hell out of me. I would play the entire game and then I would just turn it off as soon as I got to Andross. That's how scary it was to me. And not only that, but the feeling that you would get of just pure panic, and I don't know, my heart rate would be racing. Whenever he tried to suck you in, he would like inhale your ship. Trying to not get sucked in was nightmare-inducing for me, honestly. And whenever he did actually inhale you into his mouth, he would like literally chew you up and spit you out. And typically you would be missing a wing if that happened. So if you had 2 perfectly good wings with a double laser power-up, you would lose that in an instant. He would spit you out, you would be missing a wing, and you're down to 1 laser. And it only makes the boss fight that much harder. But that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is that Andross was a little more scary than he probably was intended to be, at least for me. And it was just unnecessarily creepy. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't think I am. But let me know if you guys think that he was just as creepy as I'm making him out to be. Because to me, honestly, that was one of the worst experiences as a kid for me. Moving on to number 2, I want to say this. Super Mario 64, and as soon as I mention that, I guarantee you know what I'm going to talk about. But Super Mario 64, such an amazing game. It basically set the bar for what 3D platformers are today, essentially. While it had its problems, it was groundbreaking when it was released. And I remember playing this now I didn't get around to playing the game until I was a little bit older. I played maybe the first level here and there, maybe the second one too, but I didn't really actually beat the game and get far into the game until I was much older. So what I'm talking about is the stupid, nightmare-inducing, stupid piano from Big Boo's Haunt. And if you don't know what that is, let me backtrack a little bit for you real quick and paint a picture for you. So this level was interesting because you come across the Boos in this game, and you may or may not know this. You can add this to the split screen Wikipedia or the KC Chris G Wikipedia, but Boos are one of my favorite characters in the Mario universe, I'll say. Aside from Shy Guys. I love Shy Guys. I don't know why, but I just do. It wasn't scary, but it creeped me out when you would look at a Boo and he would be all shy looking, right? And then you turn around and he would have this just evil looking face, and he would just slowly creep his way towards you. And I don't remember if you can kill him in this game or not, but just the way they creep slowly towards you was very unsettling to me. So that's another problem I have with this level. The entire level was basically screwed up. It was just a giant maze in this house. There were doors everywhere. You could get lost. It was bad. It wasn't a good time for me. And so on top of the Boos chasing you, not exactly chasing you, but just kind of making their way slowly towards you and knowing there's really nothing you can do about it, they just creeped me out. But that's not even the worst part of this level. Nay. I don't know why I said nay. I'm not a horse. So the part that I'm referring to is, I don't know if it's before or after the books start flying at you. Nonetheless, let me paint that picture for you real quick. You're walking through this house. You're making your way through doors. You finally make it past all the confusing aspects of this level in terms of doors that basically lead to rooms that you've already been to, and you have to find the right door in the right room. So after you do all that, you're minding your business, you're avoiding the booze, you're roaming the hallways of this haunted house, you make your way into a room. So maybe the bookshelves are emptying themselves and hurling books at you. I'm not sure if that's happening yet, but they're not too much of a hassle, okay? You're feeling good, you're feeling on top of the world, and you enter another room, another bookshelf, I think, and then you avoid some books. You see a piano in the room. Say, oh, maybe if I go up to it, it'll play me a nice little song, because historically speaking, even by today's standards, if there's a piano in a level, you're going to want to go up to it and see if you can play a song. Usually there might be an action button that you can press where you can play a song, or it'll play a song for you. I know in A Way Out, you could actually play a full-on song, and it was actually like a little mini game. And if you played it with your partner long enough, you would get an achievement. But this game had a different idea in mind. This game, and I will say this slowly. This damn game scared the hell out of me with this piano. Me as not a little kid, but a little bit old, I'd played games where you could touch and play and interact with the pianos. So I thought this one was no different. I go up to this piano, and instead of being able to play it, this thing comes alive and has spikes that are ready to shred Mario to pieces and starts chomping on his face and chases me all around the room. While he's doing that, he's jumping up and down. So it just sounds like somebody slamming their fists onto the piano and just playing something that's straight out of a horror movie. I had never been so scared in my life playing a game. That scarred me, and I will never forget the first time that I played that game. I don't even mess with that piano anymore. I just walk slowly around it, and if it attacks me, it still scares the shit out of me. Unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do about that. You just gotta run away. There's nothing you can do to fight it, I don't think. I don't think jumping on it does anything. So you just gotta make your way out of the room and just forget that piano just tried to gnaw your face off, and never go back to that room again. It made me not trust pianos in games for a while, and I didn't expect them to be like that, but that just solidified something in my brain. It just singed it into my brain. Walk slowly up to the piano, and if you see it move, then just back away slowly. So I know I'm not the only one on this one. I know this piano's probably scarred many little kids growing up, and I know that I'm not the only one. So those are the big two that I wanted to talk about. Those are the big ones that scared the heck out of me when I was a kid. There were other games that scared me and startled me and frightened me when I was younger. I know when I was really young and my brother first got Gears of War on his Xbox 360, something about General Rom scared the daylights out of me. I don't know what. Maybe it was his face, the way he looked, how big he was. But growing up and Gears becoming my favorite franchise, or one of them anyway, I was like, why was I scared of this guy? I mean, I was a little kid. I didn't know what he was. He didn't look human to me. So I was scared. I got scared. That's a reference to the Hot Pocket video for those of you who don't know. So, but yeah, there's just memories of scary things that scared me that I'm wondering why they did that to me. I mean, yeah, you're a little kid. Sometimes you're afraid of things that are just kind of unreasonable. Heck, I was afraid of Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid. Going to Chuck E. Cheese and seeing the big mouse costume, that frightened the hell out of me, man. So things like that, and that's probably why I was always really uncomfortable playing Five Nights at Freddy's, because that was always a childhood fear of mine. Am I the only one? let me know in the comments, or let me know on our socials. Leave comments down below. Were you afraid of the mascots at places like Chuck E. Cheese? Or let me know if you were afraid of certain things as a kid that maybe when growing up you're like, I don't know why I was afraid of that, but I was. I'm going to give a few honorable mentions to scary moments that really were just creepy, I guess. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, if you quit on the game over screen, the way the dude says game over, that scarred me. And I can hear that in my head right now. I remember I was playing it in the middle of the night, lights off, and I lost. And I just decided, I'm going to go to bed. And I hit quit. And he said it like that, and I instantly ran up. I didn't turn off the console. I just instantly ran upstairs, covered myself up, and I think I put on a SpongeBob DVD to take my mind off of it. Another thing that scared the heck out of me was when you first play the Zombies mode in World at War. For those of you who didn't play World at War, maybe you hopped on the Zombies train late, so you kind of expected zombies to be in the game. But for those of you who don't know, you beat the World at War campaign. I'm not sure if it has to be on a certain difficulty or not, but the credits are rolling, and just when you're thinking, wow, that was a great game, a cutscene starts, and you're in first-person view, and it's you, and you wake up in a field, and you see an airplane in the distance that's crash-landed, and you're thinking, okay, what is this, like a secret level maybe, like an epilogue? And then you see someone running towards you, and I remember I thought, okay, we're gonna play another level here, but what is it? I feel like the story ended really well. Somebody's coming towards me. Maybe we'll have to help them. Maybe they survive the crash. And then it turns out to be a zombie, and the way he was running towards you, it scared the hell. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this, but it scared the doodles out of me. The way he was running, it was so uncomfortable looking. It was so unsettling. And then the name Nazi Zombies comes up, and I look at my brother, and he had played it before by that time, and he's just laughing because he knows that I have no idea what's going on. I think he handed me the controller, and I was like, Mark, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? And he just let me play, and so I was shooting zombies, and I was so scared. Oh my gosh! When they started coming in, I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how the points worked. I didn't know you could open up doors. I think I opened up a door by accident, and when they swarmed in, oh my gosh, the feeling of just adrenaline, of shock, of horror. I had to play it again, and thankfully it was co-op. So my brother joined in, and we had a blast. And ever since then, we've been playing zombies nonstop. And that's basically the only reason that I think we bought the DLC for World at War. We played multiplayer every now and then, but zombies was obviously the star of the show. And the maps from there on out were just amazing, all the way up to Darius. And then I got Black Ops for Christmas, and I bought the DLC for both the multiplayer and the zombies on that. So that basically, but that cutscene at the start really terrified me when I was younger, and basically started my love of zombies after that. And that cutscene in that game mode was the start of the trend of zombies making a comeback. I guarantee it, because after that, every game had a zombie mode, or a zombie-inspired mode, or a survival mode like it. So yeah, that's Call of Duty Zombies. And then I think I'll do. We all have scary moments, like playing Slender for the first time. That scared me when I was younger. Five Nights at Freddy's, I mentioned that before. The first time playing Dead Space, that really scared me. It still does, man. And the first time encountering Chris Walker in Outlast, that made me jump out of my chair. When he throws you through the window, when you're trying to squeeze through that part, that scared me. That was an actual really good surprising scare. It wasn't even a jump scare. It was just hearing his voice out of nowhere. And him grabbing you and the way his face looks, it's all deformed and everything. It's just scary, man. That entire game gave me nightmares for a little bit after I finished that. But I think I'll end it there. I think I'll do one more honorable mention. The Dead Hand from Ocarina of Time. You know what I'm talking about. From the bottom of the well, I think. That was also nightmare-inducing. I didn't finish Legend of Zelda until I was a little bit older, but it still creeped me out. So let me know. Are there moments that you think of when I ask the question, tell me a moment that scares you or scared you when you were kids, and what scares you now? If there's anything, let me know in the comments or on our social media pages, and I would love to hear from you and talk to you about that. So I'm going to move on to topic 2 here in just a minute. That's going to be growing up as player 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this first segment. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, but I will be back in just a minute, so don't go anywhere. Maybe pause it, grab a drink, grab a snack, or if you're at work, don't be working too hard. So I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back at the Split Screen Podcast, episode 5. We're gonna move on to topic number 2 on the agenda for today, which is it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter topic, even shorter than the first one, I think. But I just wanted to make a point, and that is growing up as player 2. And like I said at the very beginning, for those of you who don't know what that means, it means I'm going to use myself as an example. I had an older brother, and that's what player 2 is. It's when you play a game, he's always in the first player slot, and you're player 2. He was always blue, you were red, or vice versa, whichever one. He was Mario, I was Luigi. He was Marcus Phoenix, I was Dominic Santiago. He was Master Chief, I was the Arbiter, etc., etc., etc. So, I just wanted to kind of go over and describe what it's like to be player 2. For those of you who are player 2, maybe you can relate to this. And for those of you who are maybe older, maybe you kind of didn't get this point of view if you have a younger sibling that you play games with. So, basically, you always had second choice at everything in games. Typically. Now, my brother, he let me pick a lot of things. Maybe he would let me pick the map that we would play on or the game we would play, but typically he would get first crack at a character, which is fine. I didn't really care. I was always an agreeable guy. If you want him, sure, that's fine. He would always get the cool black controller on the Nintendo 64. I would always get the boring gray one, which is actually, that console is actually sitting in my apartment right now. So who's got the last laugh now? But anyway, growing up player 2 means more than just getting second crack at something or playing as your second favorite character. Sometimes it means that whoever it was that was your older sibling, maybe they... Now this is something that I didn't think about, but they would have to buy the games sometimes. My brother, he bought Gears of War by himself. I didn't have to pay for it. So I guess he rightfully deserved to be player 1 on that one. But let's put it this way. I was always on the bottom screen. He was always on the top. There's another example. Let's put it in a different light, okay? Let's look at it from their perspective a little bit for just a little bit now. Maybe they played the game before you even touched it, okay? I remember growing up when I was playing games with my brother, he would show me maybe a secret or two. He would tell me a weak point on a boss. He would, I don't know, maybe show me a hidden pathway. Show me how to beat a level. Maybe help me solve a puzzle in a game that I couldn't just figure out. And that's I didn't think about this before, but that just meant that they had to go through that on their own at one point. They had to learn for themselves. And they would bestow their wisdom upon us player 2 peasants. So, if you think about it, yeah, if you were player 2, maybe sometimes it sucked. Maybe you didn't get to play as your favorite character every time. Maybe you didn't get to play your favorite game all the time. Maybe you didn't get to use your favorite weapon or whatever. And back then, yeah, that was a problem. But you also have to think about the fact that maybe they basically earned that right. They probably beat the game before you did. At least in my case, that was typically the case. So, yeah, maybe back then I would gripe and whine about it. But looking back at it now, you showed me a lot and taught me a lot. It meant being player 2 back then meant that I got my ass kicked all the time if we were in 1v1. Whether it was Smash Brothers, Blitz, NBA Jam, Halo. The only one I think I could stand a chance in is maybe Gears, sometimes Blitz, but especially fighting games like Smash Brothers and Mortal Kombat, I would get my ass whipped. Did I learn from that? Yeah, sometimes. Did I get impatient with myself and him and just completely, maybe I threw the controller down because I got my ass kicked so bad, or maybe he would teach me, hey, instead of doing this, maybe you should add this to your combo, etc. And he taught me a lot. You know, it was basically them beating you so hard into the ground that you had no choice but to learn how to get better at the game. Now, I always called it little brother / little sister syndrome, which is no matter how hard I try and no matter how good at a game I think I am, my older brother would always be just a little bit better than me. No matter how many hours I put into the game, it feels like he always put in an extra 100 hours. He would beat me in Mario Kart. He would beat me in Blitz about 90% of the time. I think every 10 games I would beat him maybe once. And it was always a high-scoring affair with maybe a touchdown score at the very last second. He would beat me in a 1v1 Halo. He would beat me, I don't know, in basically anything. I would get the occasional win here and there, but like I said, it doesn't matter how good I thought I was. I was always humbled by my older brother and the fact that it seemed like he could effortlessly beat me. I can face somebody else and maybe beat him, I don't know, maybe 5 out of 10 times. Have it be evenly matched. Maybe I can beat someone 7 or 8 times out of 10. With my brother, it was always the other way around. And I never understood it. I thought I had a good strategy going in, and he would just crap on it. Growing up player 2 is almost kind of a good experience. If you think, looking back on it, it can be classified as a good experience. Growing up, it wasn't. I didn't want to be second fiddle. But now I'm kind of okay with it because he taught me so much. My brother did, and maybe your older sibling did as well. But he taught me a lot. He taught me that sometimes you got to think outside the box, right? I was struggling with a puzzle in one game, and he said, "You're not thinking or using everything in your arsenal. Sometimes it can be the most obvious thing. Sometimes it can be something that you didn't even know you could do yet." I mean, he would show me things that I didn't know that were possible. Sometimes it's about playing together and being the trainee most of the time. As I got older and we would play together, I would get excited about being able to play the game with my older brother, whether it was Black Ops, whether it was Halo, whether it was Gears, whether it was I don't know, like a horror game, Dead Space. He would watch me play it sometimes. Maybe I remember co-oping Fear. I think it was Fear 3, and we would do a lot of gaming together, and it was just, at that point it meant more than just being player 2. When I got older, I don't think he realizes this, but when I was younger, yeah, I didn't like being player 2, but as I got older, it meant that, yeah, I get to spend time with my older brother, and yeah, I'm still learning, but we're focusing on the game more at this point. I'm good at games at this point, so I didn't really need a whole lot of pointers. He would still point some out, but at that point, to me, it meant that whenever I played with my older brother, it meant that I was about to be taken on a journey. It meant that I was going to accompany him, and that we're going to help each other out with whatever situation arises in these fictional 3D rendered worlds whenever possible. From little things like pinging an enemy off in the distance that maybe he didn't see or that I didn't see, to sharing ammo with him or him sharing ammo with me, to watching each other six. We just had each other covered. Wow, I said that backwards. Had each other covered. So I just want to say this. Being player 2 was kind of funny at times because, yeah, you got taught a whole lot. Whether it was the hard way, the easy way, or the semi-medium, easy, hard way. There were times that I was able to help him out too. I remember, well, I don't remember exactly. I remember his voice. There was a part of a game. I don't remember what it was and what was so difficult about it, but he was struggling with it, and I said, have you tried this? Maybe you can do this or that or whatever. He tried it and it worked. It was, wow. I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. But it's something special that not everybody gets to experience. Maybe you were player 1, maybe you had to go through those hardships of figuring things out on your own, because, I mean, you're not going to ask your little bro or sister to help you out. Maybe your parents don't know anything about video games. Maybe you were completely on your own, and then you passed that wisdom on to your little sibling. To me, to be on the receiving end of that, it made my life so much easier in terms of learning about games and transitioning to playing more difficult games and playing games that I don't think I would have played on my own without my brother suggesting me and pushing me in the right direction. It's just a very special relationship that me personally I'll always cherish and am thankful for to this day. Hell, I'm still learning from my brother to this day. I think I said that earlier, but man, sometimes he'll bring up a strategy and maybe a layout, like a class setup that he uses that I end up picking up, and it's nice. It's way better than what I have. But just think of it as an experience that not everybody gets to experience, and that you're lucky to have had that wisdom bestowed upon you. So he was the one giving you the beat down instead of the game itself giving you the beat down. But there's not much more to say than that, other than I'm just thankful, I guess. So, I mean, let me know. Were you player 2 or were you player 1? Maybe you were player 3. I don't know what that's like, so let me know. But I just want to say, if you're player 2, you might not have liked it when you were a kid, but look back on it in a different way now, and maybe you'll appreciate it a little bit more. And just practice, and you can get your revenge years later, like I've tried. I still haven't gotten it yet, but maybe I will one day. Anyway, leave your suggestions for more topics down below. This segment was a little bit shorter, but it was suggested to me by my older brother. So, and it's interesting because I never really thought of myself as a player 2, honestly. I know I was, but I didn't feel like I was treated like a player 2, if that makes sense. But I know what it's like. It's a weird situation. And really, you can only understand if you're the younger sibling. So, it's just really fun to talk about, I guess, and I'm glad he suggested it. Hopefully he likes what I have to say. I mean, he kicked my ass for so many years. He still does. And honestly, I never get tired of it. Am I surprised that he still beats me? No. Am I surprised when I beat him? Oh my gosh, I celebrated for about a week, I think. I remember one time we were playing Blitz back and forth, and I think I beat him 1 game out of 3 or 4. And I took a picture of the score just to document it. So I can have that. I think I still have it on my phone, or it might be on my laptop. I'm not sure, but just cherish those moments, man, because it's a blast playing with a sibling, or maybe someone that's like a sibling to you. And growing up player 2, just it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be, I think. Anyway, that's enough rambling and enough, mushy stuff like that. So if you have any suggestions on topics and you want to hear me discuss it, or maybe when I have a guest on the show again, we'll discuss it, leave it in the comments on our socials. Again, we're on Facebook, Split Screen Podcast. Twitter and Instagram are both at Split Screen KC. We hope to see you there, and I hope you take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Wash your hands, please. Wash your hands. Stay clean. And I hope to see you in the next episode. It means the world to me that if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. And it means the world to me, honestly. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Wash your hands. And I hope to see you guys and ladies in the next episode. Once again, I am KC Chris Garcia. It's been a pleasure being your host. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Split Screen Podcast. Thank you so much.